To discuss is Dennis Darby, the CEO and president of the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters. Dennis, good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. So the president will make what he says is going to be a long address tonight. What will you be listening for?
Well, from Canada's point of view and from the point of view of Canadian manufacturers, any hint about where the president is intending to go in terms of the current tariffs, but also additional tariffs, because the changes that happened on Friday as a result of the Supreme Court really didn't change a lot for manufacturers in Canada. We're still subject to those sectoral tariffs on things like cars, steel, aluminum, copper, and lumber. So we'll be looking to see, is there any change in his approach? We understand, today that the global tariffs, the 150-day tariffs, are down to 10%, and that doesn't affect Canada materially, at least in our sector. But we'll be looking to see, the tone and tenor of where they intend to go, because by and large, American industry, American manufacturing, our counterparts in the States are very supportive of the continuation and the enhancement of CUSMA. But that's only one set of input. We'll be interested to see what the president says today.
Yeah, and as he talks tough, is there still a lot of concern out there from Canadian companies? It doesn't seem as though he's walking away from tariffs, even though many in his own party, publicly or not, are reportedly relieved at the Supreme Court decision.
Well, the Supreme Court decision, from our perspective, really said that the president can't, on his own, apply tariffs across industry on any sustained basis without the support of Congress, without the support of the Senate. So I think what's really important from that point of view is that there may be some guardrails, but let's not kid ourselves. So far, Mr. Trump and his administration have been very clear they want to have tariffs. I think the one thing that is holding back our industry here in Canada is the fact that, in fact, that we don't have certainty. And I think that's probably more than anything, the fact that we don't know what the future state will be, that we don't know what the tariff regime will be, whatever it is. And we've heard from companies saying, just give us some certainty. What that means is companies aren't investing, both here and in the U.S. They're not investing in plant, in equipment, in capital, in new technology. And that's not good for North America. Of course, that's not always the way the administration looks at it, but the fact, this uncertainty that exists right now across North America, here, the U.S. and Mexico, in terms of our trade agreement, what it's really doing is holding back industry and having industry basically sit on its hands and not make those investment decisions because it's not clear, what the situation will be. So that uncertainty will probably continue until we get to the renegotiation or renewal of CUSMA. But for now, we'll watch and try to read the tea leaves as well as anyone else.
Yeah, and in the meantime, what would you like to see the Prime Minister and the government do next?
Well, everything the Prime Minister and the government is doing is bang on. First of all, I was part of the trade mission to Mexico last week because that's one of our partners in CUSMA that we don't trade with directly very much. We tend to trade through the U.S. So there was one of the largest trade missions ever to try to make those connections between Canadian and Mexican manufacturers. That's important. That's one way of trying to diversify our trade and try to give us a little bit of shielding against more actions by the U.S. But make no mistake about it, the U.S. will be our #1 customer for geography, for history, for the integration of our supply chains. So what Canada needs to do is get to some kind of an agreement that will work in North America. But we'll continue to support the government as they look at alternatives. But for manufacturing, our continental future is probably the most solid. Sure, we can look at other markets, but those are very long supply chains to develop, and they don't happen overnight. So for now, we need to get to a deal with the U.S. and Mexico that allows us to continue to trade.
Dennis Darby, thank you so much. Good to see you today, Dennis. Dennis is the CEO and president of the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters.